instrument, everything exists. But then what does not exist? I asked myself a question, what does not exist? I just wanted to have a debate. It's a free reflection that I want to put on the table by saying that at the end of the day, we can go from two observations. Youth employment is an issue on which I think we no longer need to talk about. The solutions when we can find it in all the continents in the world, but particularly in Sub-Saharan Africa, one of the major continents is the solution, including the one that was presented, is the issue, or is the bomb, which is the issue. Do we have the resources for to secure that? And that is where I try to find a certain number of solutions in terms of funding the funding. I'm not talking about funding. The funding exists. We have all the tools or the instruments, but how can we reach a critical mass of resources that can make sure that the mass coalition for youth insertion may find enough money, just like the international community for major emergency it had been faced with. I wanted to talk about the diagnosis, but I would not focus on that since yesterday. Everybody knows that. Yes, the 2 points in terms of conclusion. If you look at the issue of employment, all the diagnostics are local, others are international. So there are two observations that can be made. On the one hand, the international community should find innovative mechanism of creating jobs, which is a guarantee of peace and security. As long as we don't have solved the issue, the world would not be in a crisis, and other disturbances may occur if you do not really find a solution to this situation. Now, innovative mechanism for job creation, but also innovative mechanism for the funding of employment. This leads to think about new opportunities in terms of funding. By trying to understand what each and everybody has presented today, Mr. Darwish, Mr. Maynard, Mr. Sakho, all of them, on the obligation and the need to secure a better insertion, we need to review the issue of the qualification and skills. And this is what I have tried to summarize here in terms of training, insertion, and proportion. How can we build the competence of the youth? How can we talk about the youth and their capacities? It's an issue, as I said here, which is at the crossroad, and the question, in my opinion, is how can we generate funds, how can we capture funds, the investment are available in order to enhance the labor market if you really have the answers to the challenges that the national economy is faced with. I think that this is a major challenge, and I was reading the leaflet, and I saw that the association through its members has today a very important stakeholder, which is ILO, which is a UN system agency. I think that it is very important, and I would invite you to talk to the international community with regard to the issues at hand. When we talk about innovative funding, I also tried to look at the challenges, the context of the Sustainable Development Goals. Today is youth employment be considered as being a national priority. If that is the case, we have excellent opportunities in order to capture additional funding. One more time, I'm thinking about the necessary resources in order to ensure the funding of youth employment. And here we have a number of ideas I would like to raise. And some of them have been mentioned, and I understood in the presentation of the previous speakers. I'm just trying to restructure them. When Mr. Davis talked about a system that involves communities, I think that the push mechanism, which are the PPP, and he was also talking about the public-private partnership. This should be explored as well as additional source of funding. And I think that Mr. Sakho was talking a while ago about the partnership he is developing between the communes and the fundship. These are also some kind of avenue that we need to explore. We also have the issue of the green funds for the uh, on the PESH initiative, which is the innovative partnership for the UN for a green economy. I also would like to say that PAGE, PEG, has come from the Constitution of Lima in order to support national efforts in the framework of the priorities in the case of Senegal, which are defined in the Senegal Emerging Funds. For that mechanism, we have planned in an experimental phase to have 5,000 employment, green employment in the sector of renewable energies, forestry, afforestation, arboriculture, aquaculture, but also fish farming. We can say that the window of funding green funding is quite open for the for youth employment. I also mentioned that the private funds that are trying to invest in Africa, which are as many opportunities as possible and can constitute a partnership framework. Sometimes they used to be so that the fund that can be, for example, something different. It can be agriculture, ethics. These resources are available today and they can be captured. But I will come back on the following slide on the need to see again the stakeholders. Of course, we have the crowdfunding, which are destined to projects. This table, which have just shown you, means something. That is to say, there is a change of the role of the stakeholders. Trying here to show the hierarchy of the concerned stakeholders. It means one thing: we need to review the roles of the public employment services. Shouldn't these structures be empowered in order to be able to have to be freed in order to have mechanisms that would enable them to sign convention access to their resources? So as long as it is at the level of the government states, this can be problematic. What I call um, fundamental question here, which is raised to your association, is that this has to be the margin of maneuvers which should be given to public employment services. This also most of these funds are not funds that are got an impact on the budget. These are sub-grant funds. These are budget funds. So I think that these are mechanisms on which to have some shortcuts. We need to revisit the ratio um, with regard to the employment services and its various sources. Last analysis, and to conclude, I have tried to have a few prospects in the framework of this session. And so the first issue is what I call adequation between the training and the youth and the needs of the economy. The second issue is the issue of the youth. The second one is the insertion, and the fourth one is the component with the various projects. So in a summary, this is to say that the objective of my presentation is not to say what the PSE is doing, but to put in place a plateau, a menu that would enable to ask questions on how to capture this funding. These are business funding which are here, which continue to be for the well-being of Africa. I thank you.